Amazing. So that brings us to lesson 2 of the generational wealth creation blueprint. In this lesson, our focus is to talk about the truth about money. What is money? There's one shocking thing that I discovered when I was trying to go deeper to understand this thing called money. From the day we were born, the only thing we've been taught in society, by our peers, by our parents, in the school, is to spend money. Because all you knew how to do from the beginning is go and buy something. Go and buy something. So automatically, if you are born in poverty, everything you know about money is a lie. Take it from me or leave it. Everything you currently know about money is a lie. That's why you consistently struggle to acquire it. Because nobody has ever taught you how to make money. The only thing they taught you is go to school, learn this one, learn the history of this one, learn the history of that one. They teach you all these useless topics that never answer the question. This world, I need money to ensure I can live the life I want. But how can I get that money? Nobody answers it. So let me help you answer that question. And this lesson, once you understand it at the deep fundamental level, you should never ever struggle to make money. You should never ever work to make money. Rather, you should work for something different. I'm going to explain better. But for now, let's talk about what we have for today. First, we are going to talk about the trade by barter system. I covered this topic in the Profit Automation Masterclass, but then again, I want to go deeper on it here so that you can understand it better. We're also going to talk about commodity money. We are going to talk about paper money and coins. And we are also going to talk about the digital money and then fundamental of money. Without further ado, let's get started with the trade by barter system. You see, it's very important you understand where this thing called commerce comes from, where it started from. Because when you go to the fundamentals of anything, it's easy to build on the truth of anything. The reason why so many people struggle is that they don't know the truth of something, so they are struggling at the surface. For me, one of the most advantageous gifts I have is understanding things at the grassroots level. I don't learn something at the surface and tell myself that I'm good at it. No, I go deep to understand it from the fundamentals. Because when you understand the fundamentals, it's easy to build, it's easy to manipulate, it's easy to get results quickly because you can now use different strategies to achieve the same thing because you understand the fundamentals. So this thing called the trade by barter system, I want you to understand that it started when people started exchanging goods and services directly. E.g., they would trade yam for fish or trade yam for banana or trade yam for potato. Because back then, there was nothing called money. It wasn't in existence. Nothing like money was in existence in this world. It was created by humanity. I'm going to explain that. But for now, understand that the way people used to get what they want initially was by exchanging what they have for what they want. I have this. You have whatever you have in your hand now, your phone. I can say, okay, wow, I want that thing you have. Can you exchange with me? So they will swap and exchange. Okay, you take this one, you give me that one. This is how they used to run this thing called commerce. I understand that commerce is the entire concept of what business was built upon, which is buying and selling. So before it became buying and selling, it was trade by barter. I trade what I have to get what I want. It's important you understand that everything that has to do with money started from this concept, trade by barter. I give you what I have to get what I want. So the problem with this system was that it was difficult to find people who wanted the things we have. So then it was not something that they could scale. For instance, I could have yam and the only thing you have might be banana. And me, I don't want to eat banana. I want to eat maybe plantain. And I don't know who have plantain around me because then information was not really something that could be sent out immediately. Unlike today, when you want to sell something, you can just go to social media and announce that I want to sell this thing and people are going to contact you. It was not like that back in the day. So you have to go look for the person. So it was difficult to do business back then. And then that's when they moved on to the next thing called commodity money. Commodity money started when people saw that it was impossible to keep using this thing called trade by barter because it was not scalable. People were not able to get what they want because they couldn't find people who have what they want. So it was difficult to do trade. So they now started using valuable items like gold, silver, and cowries as money. Whereby if you have this thing, they'll just take their cowries or their gold and go meet you and tell you, I want to buy your yam. I have so amount of cowries. Because cowries were precious items back in the day. People would not say, okay, no problem, give me 2 cowries, give me 1 cowries and take yam. So it was not easy to trade because I don't have to have something you want. Rather, I just need to have something like cowries that is something people valued. Because it's something that's valuable, they can now give you for what they want. Because the person who's receiving it knows that they can still take it to go and buy the thing they want as well too. So if I have yam, you have plantain, and the other person have potato, and you want to eat potato, me, I want to eat plantain, and you do not know how to get the potato because the person says he doesn't want to eat plantain. Guess what? I can just take my cowries or my gold or my silver, come give you and take. I want to buy plantain. Then you are going to give me your plantain, take that same cowries, go give it to the person that has potato, and then get the thing you want. So it now became easy to trade. But the only problem with this system was that carrying gold and all these heavy metals was difficult because then again, when you are going to the market to look for people who have these things you want to buy, they will rob you and you will lose your money. So it was not safe to carry gold and silver around. So that now created another problem. And they moved to another stage, which is the paper money and coins. So this is when the government now started creating coins and paper money that is backed by gold. So it was not called money back in the day. It was just like a note or a statement of paper that says this paper equals 10 pieces of gold. Because the way it was back then was if you had gold, you could just go and trade that gold in perhaps a bank for the paper money. So they will give you that paper money or the coins and they will tell you that, okay, your paper money equals 10 pieces of gold. So they know that anywhere you go with this paper money, it is stated because it has been stamped by the government officials that this paper money equals 10 pieces of gold because of the value of what backed that gold, if that makes sense. It's just like, for instance, Dangote can put his print on the paper and tell me to go and give it to somebody to do business with. When I get there, they are going to treat me like they will treat Dangote because they've seen his signature there. It's backing me by giving me that stamp. So this is exactly what they did back then. And they did it with coins as well. And they used this system for a while and things was really flourishing. That's when they started printing a lot of money. Dollars started coming, pounds and all this other different kind of paper money started coming in until they now moved to this thing called the digital money. You see, the digital money was created by the bank. Money today exists mostly in digital forms, i.e., if you have 2 million naira in your account, can you see the 2 million naira physically? No. The only thing you are seeing is figures, numbers on the screen. That's the only thing you are seeing. There's no real money present with you, but you know that you have 20 digits of numbers in your bank account. So where is the main money though? So we've been operating on digital money for a very long time, but we didn't know that we were doing digital money. The bank are the ones who now use the system to manipulate us. I won't go into that topic, but then again, it's a deeper concept. So you see that money now exists in the bank. If you want to send money, you just go to your app, transfer some digits. They are going to send the digits to the next person. If you want to pay money, sometimes you use your mobile app, your mobile bank, you use USSD codes. These are all digital money, even cryptocurrencies. This is the one we are operating right now. That if you want to buy this thing, you must transfer that digital currency to the other person. And there's nothing back in the digital currency. Only the government says that 1 naira is equivalent to this. Do you understand? That's why you see inflation can come up and eat your savings, whereby you saved like 100,000. If you save 100,000 naira 10 years ago, today that 100,000 naira can buy nothing. It's useless. It's like 10,000 naira or 50,000. The point I'm making here is for you to understand one concept here. At the bottom of all of this, money exists to ensure that you can determine the value of something. That is to say, to determine the value of this thing, I have to put a figure attached to it. This thing cost me about 560,000 naira they're about to buy. 560,000 naira. That's the worth of this thing. That's the value of this thing. So if I want to buy this thing, all I just need to do is go find a way to make money, get that money, and then go buy this thing that I want. So in reality, what we are doing right now is selling your time for money. Because your employer tells you that, come get a job. Or let's start from the foundation. You go to school. Then they brainwash you, give you some knowledge, and then you now come out and say, okay, I'm qualified to do this. And you carry out your certification that makes you qualified and go into an organization, and then you say, I want a job. And then they give you this job. What you are doing in the job on a day-to-day basis is just use your time, the knowledge, your experience, the things you know to solve problems for the company. And in exchange, they will give you currency. So they are trying to tell you that the worth of your time for a full month of work is whatever amount they are paying you as salary. Are you getting that now? So your value is currently worth whatever thing you are earning. Because from that thing you earn, that's what you now use to spend to live or survive in this planet. To buy the car, to buy the phone, to ensure that you can take your kids to school and all of these other things. So in retrospect, if you worked for 40 years, whatever you acquired in material things in that 40 years is what your 40 years is worth. Think about that carefully now. If you worked in an organization for 40 years, whatever you acquired, whether at the end of that 40 years, the only thing you acquired is a house or maybe a shoe or a bag, 40 years of your life has been paid to get that thing. So it doesn't really make sense for you to keep trading time for money, because there's one thing that you can never get back, your time. I can get money back. I've lost a lot of money in my life. I've lost 40 million, lost 20 million, I've lost money, and I keep making money. Money will always come. You will lose money, you will make money. But the one thing I cannot make back is the time. The last 10 decades of my life, the last 1 decade of my life, I cannot make it back. The last 10 years, the last 5 years, the last 2 years, the last 10 years, the last 20 years. So it doesn't make sense to keep allowing your time be the price you need to pay for money, when in the real reality of things, money is actually nothing. It's just digits on a screen. That's where I really need you to get. Money is nothing but just digits on a screen. It's not a tangible asset. It's just digits on a screen. That's why they call it currency, because it's always moving. Currency. It moves from Mr. Gambi's pocket to Mr. Emeka's pocket. It moves from your pocket to my own pocket. And in the process of that move, what happened? I gave you something. There was still that fundamental thing of trade. For every money you spend, there's a trade. For every money you pay, there's a trade. For everything you buy, there's a trade. And the trade is not the money, it's your time. Because your time is what you use to buy that thing in reality. Because the way you got that money is to invest your time into doing something that now paid you, then you use that time to buy that thing. So when you go out there to say you want to buy the new iPhone 16, know that you are not buying it with money. You are actually buying it with your time. So whatever time that it took you to get that money is what you are actually spending to buy the phone. So the question you want to ask yourself, does it make sense for me to spend 2 months of my time to buy an iPhone that can get bad in any time? In any minute? It doesn't. Let's move on. I'm going to make you understand where I'm coming from very, very shortly. So like I said, money is just numbers on a computer screen. This is all that money is. So knowing that money is just number on the computer screen, that anyone can just make money. So what can you do differently to ensure that you do not put yourself in that thing called the poverty wheel, that you do not die in the poverty wheel, because that's one of the greatest punishments for any human being, to die without really achieving the things you wanted, to die in a life of constant lack, to not leave a legacy for your kids. At least, the Bible even said it. I'm not a Christian, but I like to draw lessons from everything I see. It said, a good parent leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So let's go back now. Let me make you understand what the rich does that makes them stay rich and always grow in riches till they die. It's simple, and I'm going to show you in the next lesson. But by the way, understand that everything we've talked about here is just to get you to understand this thing called money. I want you to understand money is nothing. The most important thing is your time, which you should protect to ensure that the things you do with your time are things that can allow you make enough to ensure you live the life you want, because everything you are doing is all time-based. You are selling your time to go through this program right now. So let's go to the next lesson and I will show you exactly what the rich are doing differently that the poor do not know that is keeping them in abject poverty. See you there.